after the chapter of groups, now we have come to the next chapter, that is subgroup. As the subset of a set, similarly subgroup is to a group. So any subset H of a group is called subgroup of G if it is itself a group under the same operation, that of G. That means for becoming a subgroup, any subset of G need two properties. First, it should be a subset of G, and the second is it should be a group under the same operation that is defined for G. For being a group means satisfying all the four properties: closure, associative, identity and inverse for H. So H should be a complete group for the operation which is defined for G, and it should be a subset of G, then it will become subgroup of G. Now from here we conclude two things more, that H and G have same binary operation, and it is a subgroup, means it is a group itself. Now this is the symbol of subset. H is a subset of G, then we will put this sign. If it is a subgroup, then we put the sign of less than equal to. H is a subgroup of G, and this equality means it can be equal to itself, means G is a subgroup of itself. So now note that G is subgroup of itself, and the single identity element enclosed in curly bracket is also a subgroup of every group. So these two, G itself and the identity element, these are two subgroup of G. These are known as improper subgroups. All other subgroups will be called proper subgroups, and for proper subgroup we use the symbol H subgroup of G for proper subgroup. Now next our example, some example for subgroup. So here we consider the subgroup of integers under addition. So G is Z comma plus, plus means the binary operation, and the set, that is Z, set of integers. This is a group. We already know that set of integers under addition operation form group. Now H be its subgroup. Let it contain all the even multiples of Z under the same operation. Now we have to check whether it is a subgroup or not. Is H a subgroup? Now H contain all the even multiples of Z, so we can write H is equal to 2n, where n is integer. Now H is clearly a subset of G because all the even integers are also integers. They are from the set Z, and all these four properties for H do hold, like the closure, because sum of two even integer is even, and associative will always hold for addition of integers or numbers. Identity element 0, 0 is the even integer and it belongs to H, so it is the identity element. Inverse, because if we have taken all the even integer in H, then negative of those even integer will serve as the inverse element. So H is a group itself, and it is a smaller part of G, because in G we have all integers and in H we have only even integers. So obviously H is a subset of G, and because it is a subgroup because of these four properties, therefore H is a subgroup of G. Now take one more example of Z5 under addition modulo 5. So here is the composition table that shows us all the four properties. Now we take H as 0 and 2, these two elements are in H. Now clearly H is a subset of Z5. We have to check that whether H is a subgroup or not. for subgroup it should satisfy all the 4 properties. So we can check, we can see from this composition table of H that the element 4 is not in H, that means closure property does not hold. Also inverse of each element does not exist, inverse of 0 is 0 but inverse of 2 does not exist. Therefore H is not a subgroup, it is a subset of Z5 but not a subgroup. Now we check the theorem. This is very important theorem. This is also known as criteria of being a subgroup. So if H is any subset of G, then it will become a subgroup if and only if these two properties hold. If and only if means we have to prove the result both way. First we take H to be a subgroup and prove these two things. Then we take these two things to be true and we will prove H is a subgroup. So firstly we suppose that a non-empty subset H of G is a subgroup. We have taken H as subgroup. Because it is a subgroup, it means it is a group itself, it will satisfy all the 4 properties. So the closure property means if we take two element A and B from H, then A into B will be in H. That will prove the first part of the result. Then the second part will be proved from the property of existing inverse. So inverse of every element exists in H means for every A in H, A inverse is also in H. That proves the second property. So both these results are clear from the first thing that we have taken, that H is a subgroup. Now conversely, let these two things hold and we will prove that H is a subgroup. For H to be a subgroup, we need these 4 properties: closure, associative, identity and inverse. From the given these two 1 and 2, we can see the closure property and inverse hold. We need to show these two properties, associative and identity, then our question will be done. So these two things are given, we have to prove the rest of 2 things, that is associative and inverse. First associative property, we take 3 elements from H. Because H is a subset of G, those 3 elements will be the elements of G also, and G is a group, so associative law hold in G. So that prove AB into C is equal to A into BC. So this result means if for these 3 elements A, B, C, associative property hold for H, there means associative the elements of H are associative. Then the next is identity. For identity, the second thing is A inverse belongs to H for all A belongs to H. And if we have these two elements, one is A and other is A inverse, then by applying the first property, the product of any two element in H is in H. So A inverse into A is identity. Identity in H means identity element exists. So these two properties follows and this shows that H is a subgroup. So this is a criteria for being a subgroup, and the more concise form of this is this one property instead of 2. We need to prove only this one for H to be a subgroup. It is enough to prove that A into B inverse belongs to H. Now we will check how, because this is again if and only if condition. So firstly we will take the first condition, that H is a subgroup. If we take H as a subgroup, then it means H is itself a group, and for a group inverse of every element exists, so inverse of B will also be in H. So by closure property, because it is a subgroup, so closure property also hold for these two element A, B, or for the element A comma B inverse, their product will be A into B inverse, which will be in H because of the closure property. That proves the first part of the question. Now for the converse part, we have taken this thing to be true, A into B inverse belongs to H for all A, B belongs to H. Now we have to prove H is a subgroup. Again we have to prove the 4 properties of a subgroup. So for the 4 properties, we will prove in this order. First of all, associative law, it is similar to the last theorem, as we have taken these three elements in H. H is a subset of G, therefore these three elements are in G also, and G is a group, therefore associative property hold. So this is the first part, associative. Then for the second part, identity element, we have taken A comma A in H. These are the two elements, the same elements. Then their product of this type A into A inverse, because of the first property which states that if we have A and B in H, then A into B inverse is also in H. So because of this result, if we replace B by A, then we will have A into A inverse. Here it will be A into A inverse, which will be identity. So that proves that identity element exists in H. And now for the inverse, if we have already proven that E exists in H, E and A are now two elements, and then applying the result 1 again, replacing A by E and B by A, in the given result A into B inverse will become E into A inverse, and E into A inverse is A inverse, so A inverse is in H. That proves inverse exists. And for the last thing, if we have to prove the closure property, we take two element A and B in H. Now A and B in H means A into B inverse is also in H, because we have proven here the inverse exists for each element. Now again applying the first number 1 result here that we have taken as given, A into B inverse whole inverse, it will give us A into B belongs to H. So that proves the closure part. So all these four properties shows that H is a group, as H is a subset of G and it is a subgroup of G. Now in case of addition, because we have done these two criteria according to multiplication operation. If the operation, the binary operation defined for a group is addition, then these two theorems will take this form. The first theorem will be this: if H is a subset of G, it will be a subgroup if and only if A plus B belongs to H for all A B belongs to H, and minus A belongs to H for all A belongs to H. And the second theorem that we have proved, it will change to this shape: if H is a subgroup, then A minus B also belongs to H for all AB belongs to H. So these two theorems are for addition operation. Thank you.